One of the most soul-crushing feelings that any parent could imagine would be learning that their child has unexpectedly died. But what if you found out that the child you loved so much didn't just pass away, but no longer existed or was never real in the first place? That terrifying question is absolutely a real risk when you are a superhero in the Marvel Universe. One need only look at the twins of the Scarlet Witch to see how tragic such an experience can be. It is these unique cases that I can't wait to tell you all about on this Lesser Evil special, The Never Children. Peter Parker has one of the worst lives in comic books, and his experiences with having children end up being just as problematic. In the 90s, you had the whole bag of retcons about the daughter of Peter and MJ. Is it alive? Is it dead? Does it still exist? Who knows? In the 2000s, Peter would be involved in the House of M event, where he got the chance to live his perfect life as both the massively popular Spider-Man, as well as being married to his true love Gwen Stacy and having a child with her named Richie. In 2025, starting in Spectacular Spider-Man number 3, Peter and his fellow Spider-Man Miles Morales become caught up in the machinations of the C-list villains Arcade and Mentallo. The pair of masterminds pool their talents and construct an addictive simulated reality called the Arcadium that would allow the users to live their secret fantasies. In Peter Parker's case, the thing he apparently fantasized the most about was to be married to Gwen and having 2 happy children that don't get named during the story but are absolutely adorable. The Arcadium simulation seemed perfect at first, as Peter is allowed to live out the life he could have had with Gwen had she not died. Unfortunately for Peter, his life is so shitty that when reality tells him things are great, he instinctually knows that it's a lie. After remembering the long list of tragedies and loss that haunt him, Peter snaps out of the dream and realizes what is going on. With deep sadness, Peter takes a moment to embrace his would-be family and enjoy the moment of what could have been, before doing the right thing and finding out who has tricked him. But Peter's children, along with the rest of his family, soon return as the villain reboots their robot forms and sends them against Peter before they wind up being shut down again for good. The assassin Elektra has a few defining characteristics, but being a mother is not one of them. So in Daredevil number 6 from 2016, the titular hero is thrown for a loop when Elektra begins attacking him with the intent to kill. When Daredevil finally gets his girl frenemy to explain herself, Elektra accuses him of taking her daughter. Elektra explains that her daughter has been kidnapped, and she has been led to believe Daredevil is involved. After Daredevil successfully convinces her of his innocence, he asks her about this daughter that he has never heard of. Elektra explains that her daughter's name is Iona, and that she is now 11 years old. After Elektra's father was murdered decades ago, she would end her relationship with Matt Murdock and leave college. While training under the blind ninja master known as Stick, Elektra would quickly learn that she was pregnant. When Daredevil inquires about who the father is, Elektra is quick to brush off the question as unimportant. After the child was born 8 months later, Elektra had Stick take the baby girl away and find her a new home, knowing the life of fighting ninjas was not appropriate for raising a child. Elektra never tried to find her daughter, believing the girl was better off. Knowing Elektra wouldn't lie about something that personal, Daredevil accepts Elektra's request to look into the only lead that she has. After discovering the lead was in fact not real, Elektra tracks down the man who gave her the evidence and attempts to stab the truth out of him. While she is distracted by Daredevil and his morals, the man speaks a trigger phrase that unlocks Elektra's mind and causes her to realize that all of her memories and feelings for Iona had been implanted by someone just to screw with her. Despite the deep sadness at learning the truth of her childlessness, Elektra reveals how she is actually happy that she never had a daughter, that she knows she would have inevitably let down. During the X-Men event known as Age of X-Man, the shamanistic alternate reality mutant called Nate Gray creates a pocket universe where he dumps the majority of important mutants. In this world, life is perfect and everyone is a mutant and proud of it. The trade-off for this pro-mutant paradise was the abolition of concepts like love and sex, leaving a world where children were born in facilities absent real parents, and where the word family is a cursed word. In the pages of Amazing Nightcrawler from 2019, the fuzzy blue elf was set up to be a world-famous movie star and the face of the production company Studio X. Because Nightcrawler always be crawling, the notoriously charming hero works to keep hidden his relationship with his movie co-star, the shape-shifting Megan, because relationships are illegal in this world. Nightcrawler's life becomes more complicated when he is alerted to a young girl named Tenya Jean who looks suspiciously like him. Despite having never met the young girl, Nightcrawler feels an instant connection and, using the resources available to him, he tracks down Tenya, uncovering a sinister scheme being perpetrated by Studio X. It is revealed that both Nightcrawler and Megan had had their memories erased several times before because of their repeated romantic trysts. One of these past encounters had produced Tenya Jean, who was eventually taken away along with the memories the three of them had of being a family. Choosing to sacrifice himself and his memories, Nightcrawler helps Megan escape with Tenya, leaving the pair to go on the run while he continues being the world-famous Nightcrawler, entirely oblivious to the loss of those things he loved. Sadly, this story never gets a chance to be wrapped up, as the pocket universe containing their world collapses at the end of the event, and, with the exception of the X-Men, everybody inside that world ceased to be, including the utterly adorable Tenya Jean. Jamie Madrox, the Multiple Man, has worn many hats over the years, mostly because he can have so many heads, but the hat that he never expected was the role of father. While running his detective agency in the pages of XFactor number 10 from 2006, a duplicate of Madrox would end up having a drunken sexual encounter with his teammate Teresa Cassidy, better known as Siren. The hookup would leave Siren pregnant, and despite the ridiculousness of the circumstances, determined to raise the baby alone if she had to. After months pass and the pregnancy develops without issue, Siren is trying to stay relaxed while being questioned by Val Cooper while they are surrounded by armed agents of the government. During the interrogation, Siren's water suddenly breaks. In the confusion of the situation, Val Cooper winds up shot, and like a fucking boss, Siren takes it upon her pregnant self to save the day and fly both of them to the nearest hospital. Fuck, I love comics. Madrox arrives at the hospital after handling some X-Factor business, and is present when Siren begins to go into labor. He watches his teammate give birth to a healthy baby boy, who Siren names Sean after her deceased father. After getting emotional about accepting her father's death, Siren hands the baby over to Madrox. The newly christened father has only a moment to enjoy holding his child, when the newborn suddenly begins to absorb into him. Everyone in the room, most terribly Siren, watch in horror as young Sean slowly disappears into the body of Madrox. As Madrox struggles to take in what is happening, Siren reaches out to her slowly vanishing child. When the baby is gone, a shocked Siren attacks Madrox in panic, ripping at her teammate's chest trying to get her baby back. In the aftermath, Siren suffers physically and emotionally, while the team deduces that the child of a duplicate must still be a dupe. The team would eventually help Siren deal with her trauma and the memories of her precious baby boy. So why did I want to make this video? I've always been fascinated by the children of the Scarlet Witch and Vision, a pair of kids conjured into reality through powerful magics that would eventually be removed from existence only to be miraculously reborn as real people, superheroes even. That's some of the most comic book shit I have ever heard, and I love comics for that reason. At the same time, I'm not ignorant to the emotional drama of the situation that could easily be the plot of a horror movie. I like to use these specials to talk about how scary the Marvel Universe really is when you look at it, because it fascinates me how many ways the Marvel Universe can conjure new forms of heartbreaking tragedy. Losing one's child is a terrifying enough concept on its own, but also learning that the child you loved so much was not what you believed it to be is another level of pain. I find it interesting to compare the parent who chooses to forget their child at the cost of the love he would have had to a parent who is relieved to discover the sweet memories of their child were bittersweet fabrications from the beginning. The misfortune in Spider-Man's life is almost comical at this point, but to watch him give up another chance at family breaks your heart. Compare that to watching your newly born child fade away after months of dreaming about your shared futures. You almost have to be impressed with the way writers can hurt these characters. But we are dealing with comic books, aren't we? All of the kids I mentioned in this video are one issue away from being brought back should a writer find that character interesting enough. I would love to see Tenya Jean meet Nightcrawler's other alt-dimensional daughter Nocturne. I mean, come on. But until that happens, these children are left as nothing but memories in the minds of the characters that cared about them, and the hearts of the readers who looked forward to their stories. There is always hope though, even in the darkness of the Marvel Universe, that these never children can return, bringing with them new potential for drama and stories about a new generation of emotionally damaged superpowered people.